The choices in which we are to make have been established as choices. Your freedom of choice is an illusion because it was implemented by a force other than the divine. The fact that you had no choice in your various choices implies that before you were able to choose, someone had before chosen for you in terms of required education. Freedom of choosing holds no options of either one or the other based upon an established curriculum. Even those in whom have been made to think and believe that they would love to be that which has been already established, will in time come to understand that what they have desired to become, is but someone else's objective for the sake of their desire to use them to put forth their personal agenda in opposition of the sole agenda of the Creator. Therefore, your desires are established and set intellectual preconditions, even before you are in time made venture into the direction to come in contact with what is placed before you as a choice for your living experience as a career or common job task. The instinctive freedom from the Creator to choose has forever been for the benefit of oneself from the moment of intellectual capabilities. Unfortunately, considering the centuries of mankind being a victim of enslavement upon many various forms of subjugation, mankind has been controlled instead of enjoying his true freedom of expressing his or herself. The existence of the right to freedom has been recognized by those who wish to incorporate it into a formula of political and religious control. In this insidious method of enslavement through the centuries, mankind has been manipulated into a slavery in which in fact enslaves everyone as a whole, even though there are deceptive and socially destructive intellectual tools imbued within the society in which separates all of which have to exist in it peacefully. The government cannot use a society in which is peaceful. There must be conflict in order to have the absolve to enforce its military and police formula for the cultivation of prisons and further bodies for the military, which will bring into the hands of politicians and capitalists revenues of human beings who will never be given the counsel in which they need to be made free of the acts of the degenerate past acts, rather in prison, or within the prison of their minds as what they were forced to execute during the campaigns of war. The slavery which is being mentioned is that state of being of the silent whip upon the back of every living human being, which begins in the mind as when we were first educated to submit to a government system that is propagated as an institution for the benefit of all human being under its rule, however has forever been of the benefit of its own counterparts. Before all of which is mentioned was incorporated into this system, the healers who are now known as the doctors, as well as the caretakers who are known this day as farmers, were those who were the people that were gifted of the knowledge of the human body and the knowledge of the land. This was the freedom of expression for the sake of keeping mankind upon a state of wellness and productivity for mankind. The entire human family was the village. There were no designed and then designated communities of race. One human beings possessed the knowledge of one gift, as well as the other had the knowing of another to accompany the other's common needs. This is where the term trading comes from. One gift was traded of the other to keep all in the care of one another for the sake of holding the village intact of what love, compassion and the restoration of mankind's humanity was designed for. The trading upon the people was destroyed when Rome entered the world and hitched humanity to their plow after humanity was liberated of the Egyptians. Since Rome's fall, there was the rise of Great Britain in the 18th century, and out of the bowels of Great Britain was born America in 1898, which was known as the birth of the superpower. But, the same system and its active formula still exist. Our choices are preconditioned as ultimatums for the system asserted to be able to have the freedom to accept or to reject without a true option for any other type of safety net implemented for the common good who would rather not serve in its dwellings. One either works and lives of the system, or starve and die. This day and time, mankind is being maneuvered into being totally relied upon the government to preserve him and her despite the wealth of many. The government creates wars and therefore pandemics in which causes fear and helplessness in the governed, and then after a time, offer to hold the hands of the governed who they have crippled with the weapon of fear. The Mesopotamian shekel was imposed into the hands of the people as their only obtained for survival within the Roman system of rule. The Mesopotamian shekel is the first known form of currency to the earth, emerged nearly 5,000 years ago. The earliest known mint date to 650 and 600 BC in Asia Minor, where the elites of Lydia and Ionia used stamped silver and gold coins to pay armies. But, in this day, the system has taken even that out of the hands of the governed and have placed the currency of the governed upon debit cards for the sake of better controlling the commonwealth of the people. We are living in dangerous times, for to be not effectively informed of these historical facts and of how they are a part of the reality of which we are experiencing this day. The most dangerous weapons against mankind's proper concentration of what is transpiring about him and her, is the destructive effects of religion and politics, and of how they designed and utilized for to keep the human family separated intellectually as well as spiritually. Providing that religion and politics have separated mankind from its true state of humanity, this provides the government systems time to insidiously impose upon the world more methods of control and therefore, enslavement. The design this day is to gain control gradually over that which was so-called freely given, as the result of asserting the governed more freedom in the name of convenience. It has become a very formidable enemy to the human family in its misuse by the government powers. It gets its power from its dual component, discomfort and its effects. Once the people are made comfortable, secured, that is also a weapon which can be utilized for the government systems. The comfort of the people and thus, the weapon of allowing the people to feel secure and safe, while in time slowly causing them to feel insecure with the weapon of fear, causing a discomfort and insecurity for a time, for the sake of manipulating them to attain an ultimatum which will force them to compromise what freedom that was offered to them by the same government system that is further enslaving them. What they have given us as freedom, is not being utilized as a device for our enslavement. There will be better times coming. But, before the storm clears, the worst is coming in a very innocent and slow pace of immorality. This will either keep you made aware, or place you further to sleep. You have the choice of which will serve you best. To be continued. Written by David Anthony.